Hey Kate, remember when we went and you watched a soccer highlight and you about lost it because it was probably the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
Yep, that was just the other day.
You could drop a tarantula into his shorts and he'll still be cool.
Okay.
Having way too much fun with that. So anyway, I hope you all interviewed our or interviewed. Wow.
Yeah, everyone interviewed. It was fantastic.
We're ready. We are warm.
So I'm going to take over the show today because clearly DJ can't. So we hope you all enjoyed our interview last week. We certainly enjoyed ourselves. And today on our Stadium Scene 10-minute with, we have Emily Williams back with us.
Hello, everyone. I'm back.
Well, welcome back after 2 months, but you're back with a very exciting announcement. You've kind of been hyping it on your social media channel the last couple of weeks. So let's hear the announcement for anyone who hasn't heard it.
So since the last time I was on here, I am now starting a podcast called Lady-Thletes, the show. So it's the official extension of the book, Lady-Thletes.
And we're also excited to announce that we are venturing into the world of producing. So we're really excited to be partnering with you on this adventure down the podcasting world. So
it's all your fault.
It is all my fault. Yeah, it was one of those things where we were on hiatus for much of April, and I was just I was doing one of my I've got to come up with 10 new ideas in the next week, or else it will be not productive at all. And I just randomly reached out to you and said, have you ever thought of starting a podcast or a YouTube channel? And you're kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, I think of lots of things. That would be great to do. So when I'm asked, hey, did you think of this? The answer most likely is going to be yes, unless it's really weird. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
So what's your new show going to be like? Where are we going to hear?
Lots of things. So I'm going to do like a coach's corner where I'm going to just be like sputtering off on my rants that happen in my head or in my car about advice that I would want to give either myself or something I ran into. So those are what I'm calling like my coach's corner episodes, where it's just like me talking at you for like 20 minutes. And then I also have a bunch of interviews with a lot of really great women lined up, ready to go. Liz Lucas, who is kind of a mental toughness coach, helping high school athletes transition from like high school to college and like, what's that about? Sarah Crowley, who is a D1 athlete at UMass Amherst and kind of lacrosse player in her journey. I have Lindsay Russo from the We Belong podcast. And then I have a bunch of other women who either started up these organizations or essentially I announced, hey, I want guests. And they all came out of nowhere. So it was awesome. It was a great response.
I know.
So I'm very excited.
Posting quite a bit for, hey, want to be on the show? Care to share the ballpark number of how many people have reached out to you so far?
Like 6 or 7 since with one post.
That's
a
amazing.
Really good start. I usually have to like chase people down, like, hey, you want to come on the show? It's still personal invitation, but the fact you put out a blanket statement and got 6 or 7 people right away, that's a very good start. So
I think that's the power of the community of the girls in sports and women in sports. Everyone's really passionate about it. So that's why I think that we can kind of congregate around that.
I'm obviously disqualified from being on the show, but when are you going to have Kate on to talk about her vast experience?
You both could be on. I mean, I do have I have a friend who is a male coach who works with girls, and he's interested in coming on. So everyone's on the table as long as you have an interest. I mean, you do have twin female children, so
that is very true. Kate, usually when Kate and I are allowed on somebody's show, that's the last time that we are invited.
It has nothing to do with me, I swear.
No, that's not true. The first show we were banned from was completely your fault.
I still stand by my statement that baseball pants are the reason I watch baseball.
That's a valid reason. That's what got me into baseball.
Yeah, and I was asking the guy which player has the best, like, butt and stuff. And he was like,
Valid
answering.
questions. Everyone has opinions on that. I don't care what your orientation is. Everyone has an opinion on that.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, you know, I'm a big fan of baseball. I love baseball. The Cubs flag.
So what's your opinion?
On what? On baseball
Who
pants?
has the best pants?
Yeah.
See, I'm not a big fan of pants.
Well, this just took a turn.
I'm a big fan of the shorts.
Oh, this is why I love coming on this show. It's awesome. Just the shenanigans.
Outside of, like, if you take out the times I show up to an office, the last time I wore long pants, God, probably 2 years ago.
Do you even own any anymore?
I do, yes.
Okay.
I did. We went to, I take it back. I took the kids on Christmas Eve to the zoo last, I guess, 2019, before the pandemic started. And it was like 35 degrees outside. So I did wear long pants. It was really challenging too, because I had to find socks. That's the other issue. Anyway,
Okay.
but anyway, now that we've uninvited ourselves off of Emily's show, you've been prepping the show for about a month now. You know, you've got a collection of guests. You've got your strategy going. What's the biggest thing you've learned about the show, or I guess in the preparation for that first episode release?
Practice what you say before you say it. Because I can go down rants and then I'll listen to it and I will have repeated myself 4 times in like one sentence because it's just a rant. So I've learned to write the rant and then say the rant, because then I can clean it up. And though it is still like a fluid thought, it at least sounds a little better than it did initially.
And you might not tell your audience that you don't wear pants.
Truth.
So Kate, is that a reason why you never go back and listen to any of the shows? So you just don't want to hear it?
I don't like my voice.
I'll be honest, I feel that on a very personal level.
Also, I know what's going to be said and I get bored because I was the one talking.
You are there.
But you really don't, because this moves so quickly. And especially the longer the episode goes, you go back and you're like, well, that was a really dumb question. Why did I ask that?
You could have been positive and been like, wow, I said something really inspirational, because that's happened to me where I'm like, wow, that came out of my mouth. But it's a positive thing, not a negative.
Yeah, in my case, it's more like, wow, that was really dumb. Why did I ask that? Or it's like, wow, I could have worded that way better. And that explains why the guest kind of went, huh, what? What are you trying to say?
Or when I misread the scripts or the outlines and ask questions that are completely irrelevant.
Misread? You don't even read the scripts. You've never read a script.
Shots read them. Skim them. I may not read them word for word.
But it's an outline.
It's no secret on this show. When we do our or when I do the research on the guest, I send the show notes to Kate and say, please read these before the show, please.
You also text me 30 minutes before every recording to remind me to show up.
I do, because there has been more than one occasion that I've shown up and you didn't.
You're not the only one, Kate. He does it to me too. We're still on for tonight? Yes, we are.
I always do that.
It's good. It's a good habit.
I actually go around calling him our producer. So
I am. We don't have an active producer. So, I mean, it's like, this is as just kind of wild and outlandish as this discussion is. There's actually a lot of good content here, believe it or not. And, you know, it's until you have your own producer, not only are you're the researcher, you're the host, you're the producer, you're the editor, you're the marketer. You're wearing a lot of hats to do just one podcast episode. And it definitely gets frustrating at times, especially when, you know, it doesn't get the kind of return listener-wise that you're hoping for. And, you Emily and I've met a couple times in the last month to kind of talk through that. And I've given fair warning to everybody listening or watching this today. Don't expect, unless you have a bottomless pit of money to throw into social media ads or Google ads, that first 50 episodes or so, you're going to have your parents, your relatives, your friends, and that's about it.
My mom doesn't listen still.
And you still can't get your mom to listen to the show.
Yeah.
And I've never met your mother. I've met your father. I've never met your mother. So I'm going to say that that's not my fault.
Oh, you've met her.
No, I haven't.
That's besides the point.
But I think that was such valuable advice because it helps you set your expectations. But for me, I think it took a lot of pressure off because I'm like, this has to be perfect. And then my brain's like, no, it doesn't have to be perfect for the first 25 episodes. It can be a total mess, but it's all learning. And then once you get in the groove of things, then it's kind of like my Instagram page. If you look at the beginning, it's not so pretty and organized. And now I've kind of figured some stuff out to make it pretty and organized.
And too, you get a little overzealous with the social media. This has happened to us. I'm sure it's happened to you that Instagram comes back and says, wait, way too much today. Jill.
I've done that. I got banned for 4 days. 4 days. I couldn't comment or like or I couldn't do anything for 4 whole days. I thought the world was burning. I watched my followers because this was like when I was in that 500 follower range. Like it's really important to hold on to them. Watching it just go down and down as the days went on because I couldn't post anything or engage with anyone. It was the worst. It like gave me anxiety, and my husband's over here like, why do you care? I'm like, I don't know why I care.
It's almost like they're trying to prevent addiction to their app.
But they want the addiction. They don't want spam is what they're going.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if I told you this, Kate, but we got a 24-hour about a week or two ago.
Yeah, you mentioned it, but I was distracted.
We got a 24-hour ban because we're working on trying to boost our engagement rates, and so I was going and unfollowing irrelevant people that we had followed.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that followers are irrelevant or people following are irrelevant, but there's people we're following that just don't meet our target audience. We're trying to reach sports producers and people interested in sports, and along the way we've followed people that's like, hey, that guy posted a photo of him golfing. That sounds like he's pretty good. And it turns out it's like his feed's nothing like what we need. And so I went on this mass unfollow streak and I unfollowed like 300 people in one night. And Instagram,
200's the max.
Yeah, 200. That's what it was. It was 200 people. And Instagram's like, you need to take a chill pill. Come back in about 24 hours. I'm like, okay. All right, I'm done.
The stupidest tip that I got that I still do is every Sunday is like my social media day. I plan my whole feed. I like time it. I do everything Sunday and then I just like set it and forget it. And then I log in to like do the engagement when the post goes live. So I'm very organized now compared to how I was. But what I learned is on Sundays, I take my followers and who I'm following list and I compare them. And then anyone who's following me, I continue to follow them because I feel like that's fair. But then I look at the list of people who I'm following who don't follow me and I like evaluate them one by one if I should continue to follow them. And that
is absolutely the way to do
it. Yeah, it works. And then I don't get into the 200 person follower problem because I might unfollow 10 people instead of 200.
And for people, Kate's going to unfollow me right now, I think. But as that's happening and you start getting into the what we call the influencer territory, kind of 5,000 is kind of the magical number with influencers, and it's not anywhere. It's kind of one of those unwritten rules, and companies when they're looking at they'll come if you have 1,000 decent followers with decent engagement rates. They'll talk to you. 500 targeted people, they'll follow you, but 5,000 is kind of that magical number where they really like you start to see that amount of interest pick up with companies wanting to pay you money to hawk their products or whatever. But it's super critical that you have those engagement rates, and another thing we talk about, this is going completely off the rails, but whatever.
It's okay. It's important stuff for people to know if they're getting into marketing. I think it's important.
This is all of a sudden turned into a very educational session here.
Yeah, but I just learned I'm only 4,922 followers away from becoming an influencer on Instagram.
Yeah, I think I'm like I'd be 4,040 away because I'm at 960.
Yeah,
I'm at 78.
I think
I'm one of them. I follow you.
Yes.
Actually, it's funny. My back to on topic here. My wife got the people you may know, and my wife goes, it's telling me I should follow somebody called Lady-Thletes the show. Do you know that person? I'm like, yes I do.
She followed me and I was like, oh, this must be his wife.
It is, yes. If Kate can vouch for this, couldn't be any more different than me.
Yeah.
Many people question, like, how are the two of you married? Like, you're so stupid.
I don't wonder that, because you're both special in your own special ways. And you just complement each other.
She's just saying that she's reasonable. I'm not. She's level-headed. I'm insane.
Well, wasn't going to talk about your sanity, but
But anyway, back to the engagement thing. It's you hit that 5,000 followers, you're going to start attracting interest, and one of the things that these companies are looking at is how much do your people engage. It's like 5,000 followers is great, but if you went and cheated and go to those, I'm going to buy 5,000 followers for $50. No, because your engagement rates are garbage. These accounts are not real. They're spam. They're bots. They're abandoned accounts. They're not going to comment. They're not going to like. They're not paying you because you have a 5,000 follower account. They're paying you because people actually see, they engage, they comment, they like, and that's where the money comes from.
But make sure, don't write, like, comment, or follow on Facebook. It's against their terms and conditions.
You can't say that, but isn't it the same company?
Facebook and Instagram, yeah, they're the same company, and they will penalize you for that. They will purposely bury your post if you ask them to like or follow a post or share it with their friends.
It goes to Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
fascinating. I don't have I have it, but I don't use it that often. I use it really for Facebook Marketplace to go find stuff on the cheap. But because I always say, like, to help, like, if I write a story about like some adversity that I overcame, I'm like, comment with yours below to try to help engagement. The other really stupid trick that I learned from my brother, because my brother he runs a fitness thing and he does similar stuff trying to make sure his engagement's up, is if you have multiple accounts, have your accounts when the post goes live like the other one's account. So I have chickens and I sell my eggs locally in town. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's this Brook Street Eggs that's been liking all my stuff. That's me liking and commenting.
I have noticed that.
It helps.
And I suspected that was the case. I'm like, that is either you, your husband, or a close relative doing that. I have noticed. I'm like, wow, that egg, every time I see a post from you, that is
because it's the B, so it like alphabetizes it. I'm like, can you just bury that in like something? But it helps because someone said when you do that, I actually see your post jump to the top versus like getting buried in the feed. So yes, Brook Street Eggs.
There you go.
I have some great.
I was really excited because I thought I had a chicken on my desk. It's a duck.
It's a duck. Duck eggs are actually really good for baking, though.
I'm doing a baby shower this weekend, and it's farm themed.
That's super fun. I like that.
I don't just have random duck cutouts on my desk.
I mean, I wouldn't judge you if you did. I wasn't judging.
Okay.
I mean, I guess that's why you started the show on Tuesday with, "Hey, what the duck?"
Yeah.
And I left that in. That got into the content.
Oh, perfect.
That's how the show starts last week. We're interviewing a legendary announcer of U.S. soccer for the last 30 plus years, and the show starts with Caitlin Lutz, a duck.
I used to walk up to you and say, "What the fluck?"
Yeah, it doesn't even faze me. It's like I've heard that for 30 years. Well, 25 years. We'll say 25 years. On that note, I think it's time.
Where are we?
I think it's time to wrap. So, Emily, again, welcome to the family. We're so thrilled to be working with you on this. Let's plug where to find the show, where to find your social media.
Yeah, so Lady-Thletes, the show is going to be available through Anchor, so you can listen to it on there. It drops tomorrow morning, East Coast time at like 12:01 a.m. So depending on where you are in the world, it could be a different time. I'm not going to do all the math really fast. So you'll find it on Anchor, and then from Anchor, it'll distribute to everywhere else. You'll find it on Stadium Scene. It will be there. So I recommend listening to it there, of course. And Instagram for that is at Lady-Thletes. And then obviously me, I'm at Coach Emily Williams. I have my website, emilytheauthor.com, and Lady-Thletes is still for sale. Keep buying it, guys, because people are buying it and they're reading it, and the athletes who hear it are giving great feedback. So
awesome.
Keep on trucking.
That is great news. We're very excited. So, and I've got a reminder to set the alarm for tonight to make sure that we get this up onto the site as soon as it goes live. So
perfect.
Here we go. We'll have to get scheduled to come on the show and hopefully not scare all your audience away. We'll do it early on before the audience builds up. That way we won't have as many people to scare away.
That works. I like that.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
always
for joining us.
Always.
And Kate, very, very important announcement I need to share.
You could drop a tarantula into his shorts and he'll still be cool.
I was trying to throw that at you. It doesn't work very well.
Well, that was loud. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry if I ruined anyone's hearing. On that note, we're going to wrap up. StadiumScene.tv, at Stadium Scene on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and TikTok, at Stadium_Scene on Instagram, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another episode. I mean, with content like this, why would you want to miss an episode? So, thanks for watching. Have a drink on me. No, actually, I'm not paying for it. Have a drink in honor of me. We'll say that. And we'll see you next week.